Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Martin here at the Artistry House, and we've got Gurvir on the line here, and we're going to congratulate him and give him a round of applause for being the British Institute of Professional Photography Wedding Photographer of the Year. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm buzzing, Martin. Honestly, it was even yesterday when I got up and I logged in at 10:30, just watching all the winners. The images are fantastic, and then to have the announcement as Wedding Photographer of the Year for BIPP, I was just like, oh wow, I was taken back, and told everybody at home. But obviously we're all quarantined and we're just sitting in the house. But yeah, it is a nice feeling.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And you found out you actually logged in and watched live as well, did you? You didn't have someone ringing you up saying, oh, by the way. Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, congratulations. And you've had so many beautiful images in the competition this year. And by the way, just thought I'd show you, brought it upstairs to show you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Beautiful trophy. Go on, I can see it going on right behind you there, maybe on the mantelpiece or on the windowsill.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what I thought I'd do is you actually, besides the winning image, you got a silver as well, which is fantastic. So I thought we'd talk about both of them if that's okay. So I'm just going to share my screen now with you, and we'll talk about this one. This scored really highly. Oh, sorry, that's not the right one. You keep doing that. I don't know what's going on today with this. There we go. It should be now. No. Let's talk about the winning image first. How's that?
Yeah.
So this is the one that won you the competition. Very highly scored. Really amazing comments. And I remember being sat in the room. I was there just to make sure everything was running okay. And the venue, everybody said, "Where is this venue?" Because it looks amazing.
Okay. This is a famous Gurdwara temple in England, in Gravesend. And I think if you've photographed predominantly Asian weddings, Indian weddings, and Sikh weddings, I think every Indian photographer at some point in their career photographed at this venue, this Gurdwara. And this is on the ground floor. As you walk in, it's a grand building, marble everywhere, grand staircases. And this is one of those scenarios where everybody just walks over this tiled floor. But I've never seen anybody or another photographer photograph on this floor. And I was just fortunate. I've always thought, okay, there's something to be done here.
Yeah.
But it's just, on Asian weddings and timings and everything else, you just generally don't have the time. Because it's a public venue, it's a religious venue, you got the general public always coming and going into, the dining room and the temple to, worship and pray. So you're always going to have a big sort of group of people walking. So you're never going to get this area fully clean. And I think at the time of the day, I think it was around about 2 PM maybe. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go and try something here with, try and create something symmetrical. So I've kind of gone up maybe 2 floors,
yes,
or a floor maybe, to photograph down towards the floor at an angle, and there's literally only 2 spots, either this side or the other side.
Yeah.
So I've just chosen this one to get the less distractions, and then I've tried to photograph this image as symmetrical as possible on a tripod. The lighting's not the greatest, so I've had to bring my assistant in with a softbox, and I think it was with a Profoto, a B1, B2 maybe at the time. So it's gridded softbox, and I've taken 2 images, one with the light in to light up the subject,
yeah,
and another image as a reference, a second base image with the light out. And with both those images, I'm able to stack them on top of each other in Photoshop.
Yeah.
And then going at the lighting assistant. And then there's
the symmetrics are incredible. How you've got was it quite? It's almost like a tilt shift lens or something like that. It's almost kind of plays on the mind how that
it's kind of, yeah,
isn't it? It's
it's kind of
what you had to do to get that kind of symmetry, or
quite a bit, to be honest. I think majority of the work was actually done in camera, Martin. Lining everything up and making sure everything was as symmetrical as possible. But then obviously in Photoshop, there's a little bit of lining. You can kind of shift the image a little bit, just tilt it a little bit and skew it, just to make all the lines up. So like guidelines have been brought in to make sure the verticals are straight, and then the horizontals are all lined up. And then a little bit of dodging and burning, just to, I think there might have been a few people walking in the background, so a little bit of cloning just to get them out. But I think I spent more of my time on this image, not editing the image for the final tone. It was more time spent on this image just to make sure everything lined up and everything was as symmetrical as possible.
Yeah, and the lighting is just beautiful on as well. How it's kind of gradiates out from the center, and she's lit so beautifully. Yeah, amazing shot. And of course, you do software seminars and tutorials, and I'm hoping you're going to do at some point maybe 20 minutes for us in one of our training videos that we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, just to give people, who everybody's got a bit of downtime. We should all be learning something and kind of hopefully bettering our business, shouldn't we? So
yeah, 100%.
And I know that you're going to be running actually a paid workshop that you're going to give some money to charity, which is going to be a couple of hours, isn't it? So that's going to be coming up there. So we'll put a link in our community as well to let people come and get involved in that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to try. I don't know why it keeps showing the same image, but I'm just going to stop sharing that screen and see if I can pull up the other image, which was a silver for you. No, I don't know why that is doing that. Let's kind of try something different. Just talk amongst yourselves. No, amazing. I don't know why that's happening. I'm definitely selecting the other image.
Have you got both of them highlighted, maybe?
Maybe that's what it is. Can you see? No. Can you see the?
I can see it now.
Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, this scored very highly as well. Again, it's another. The idea behind it that you've thought through is just incredible. There was a lot of amazing comments, and a lot of the judges were just kind of, well, how's he done that? So again, what was the concept behind this, and shoot it.
Yeah, 100%. So I have a book that's kind of more or less with me, especially on the side of the bed, that anything that inspires me or I want to create, or any ideas that I have, it's kind of jotted in that book. And it's usually, sometimes at 3, 4 in the morning when I wake up from a dream, and then, some idea pops into my head and I'm kind of writing it down. This was an idea that's kind of been in my head for maybe 4 or 5 years or something like that. And I completely forgot about it for a very long time. And then me and my wife, we were on a honeymoon, and in the resort they have, kind of those big life-size chess pieces at the back.
I do, yeah.
As you do. So we're playing chess, and I was like, oh my God, this completely reminds me of an idea I had a few years back. So it's just an idea that I kind of want to push forward. So after me and my wife got married, it was her 30th birthday, and we had a fancy dress party for her 30th birthday, and we went to one of these shops just outside of Birmingham in Worcester, and a lot of the stuff was staged and theatrical clothing. So we went out as gladiators, but as soon as I walked into the shop, I saw these old King Henry VIII, Tudor, Victoria sort of king and queen outfits, and I was just like, right, I need to get this photo shoot done. So it's composite images. It hasn't been created in one image.
Yeah.
So the chessboard was sourced and made sure I got the right pieces and the right chessboard. So that's been photographed. It's been edited in post-production. So as much as they look black pieces, they're actually brass, so they're more bronzy colored.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. And then the bride and groom were photographed individually.
Yeah.
And once again, with their outfits, black and grey wasn't a color that was traditional in that period time. So the outfits were as dark as possible, like shades of burgundy. And then once again, in post-production, the colors have been desaturated and brought and dodged and burnt. So they look, a black outfit. And then obviously then they've been brought and composited onto the chessboard with the reflection. So there's a lot of work and a lot of thought process for this, because this is the first time I wanted to push the boundaries for myself.
Yes.
I'm not really a composite photographer. I just wanted to try something a little bit out there for myself and keep pushing the boundaries and, keep learning. And, obviously it's going to allow me to learn and just do something different for a next kind of ideal concept shoot. But the lighting had to match on the chess pieces, and the lighting had to match on the bride and groom, so that, the little rim and the little kiss light coming in, so everything was consistent and believable. But I've had a lot of feedback on this image when I posted it online and social media, where a lot of photographers are like, where is this studio? How did you do this? And it was just like, I think today is the only time I'm actually revealing how it was done.
Oh, really? So it's an exclusive for the Institute then?
Yeah, basically. So I haven't told anybody how it was done. I just kind of let them believe that it was one image, but it's a composite, and there's a lot of work that's taken into it.
And it also brings me on to the point that I know we spoke just before we started recording this about the impact of images and whether you shoot or in this case create images for competition or for social media and marketing and your clients. And I think we both agree that, you know, there's two different aspects. That you can create an image that you will help drive customers through your door, and it gets interest, gets a lot of following through Facebook or social media. But then to enter it in a competition, you're going to lose some of the impact on it. But and then vice versa. Like this, I know that you feel that going for competitions is important for you because it drives your creativeness and you know, personally what you want to achieve. And I mean, you've had some amazing credits already with the WPPI out in the States and SVPP in London. So yeah, if you can just give us a couple of minutes on, you know, how you decide what that image is used for. Both obviously creditable ideas, one for social media to bring customers in, and the other just to raise your profile in our industry. So how do you kind of decide what you're going to do with the image, Gurvir?
It's kind of a fine balance, or just trying to engage what's going to be more suitable for you. I think maybe at the very beginning of my career, like images that scored 93s and 94s very earlier on in my career, if I was to resubmit those images now at competition, you know, the standard gets raised and everybody's raising the bar from year to year. I mean, there's so much talented photographers out there that images that scored 93, 94 a few years ago, you know, we're barely hitting 82, 83 now.
Wow.
So, you know, times are always changing. So I've always approached competitions as much as, like, you know, it's nice to win awards or, you know, get placed and acknowledged. I've always seen them as a way for personal development, for growth,
Yes.
and to push the boundaries and be, you know, improve from year in, year out. Because I always believe that if you're standing still, you're not improving. So, you know, this image, the chess image, for example, is something that I've never done. It's outside of the box for me, and
Yeah.
it's allowed me to grow. So as soon as I finished the image on this one, it was just like, oh, like, do I want to submit it for competitions and keep it quiet and do really well? Or was I torn between, hey, if I put this out in social media, you know, I could get a lot of response and feedback, and it could help drive and, you know, more business and bring more work next year, and you know, clients who want this kind of stuff. Considering it was my first one, I kind of went on the basis that I'm going to put this out on social media. So any clients who want concept images, you know, we can always discuss it and it will bring that kind of clientele in.
Yeah.
You know, in maybe, you know, a few years time, and I have more images, concept images like this, I probably wouldn't be leaking them out in social media.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've already got those clients who kind of want those concept shoots. And on that basis, I'd probably hold back and have the impact of competition. I mean, I know for a fact that this image has been socially out there and, you know, Facebook, Instagram, website for at least 3-4 months before competition. So there's few judges that may have seen this and the initial impact isn't there.
Yeah.
So, you know, the initial impact, oh, I want to score this image into the 90s category. It's just like, I've seen it. So it gets stuck in the 80s.
Yes.
I think it's just kind of trying to find a balance, what's going to be more suitable for you, whether you kind of want to score high in competition or you're using this as a marketing tool for yourself.
That's a really interesting insight to where you approach what you do with the images. So that's brilliant. I think we'll just finish on the last couple of minutes. Obviously, we're in strange times, and I guess as a wedding photographer, you know, then the next few weeks are going to be tough. So what do you think's important, or what advice would you give to other people over the next few weeks that they need to do, getting ready for when kind of we go back to some kind of normality?
At the moment, for me, it's just I'm having clients who are scrambling, trying to change dates. So I'm working with the clients and being very lenient with them, even though my contract says one thing. It's trying to find a compromise. So I'm allowing them to transfer the retainer across. There's a lot of documents out there at the moment that kind of help with this, with wording and, you know, making sure you're on the client's basis. But I'm using this downtime. You know, I've had all my weddings until June be rescheduled for the end of the year. So I'm not shooting my first wedding until mid-June.
Yeah.
I'm using this downtime to educate myself and, you know, brush up on techniques or knowledge, read more, and especially using this time to, you know, increase marketing for next year and making sure clients are booking for next year, and just kind of staying on top of that. And the admin stuff is just making sure I don't go crazy sitting at home.
Yeah, whereas we've all got to keep ourselves busy, me too included. Well, Gurvir, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Congratulations on an amazing achievement, as I say, Photographer of the Year for 2020. I can't wait to see what you surprise us with next year when we run the competition again. And have a safe few weeks, and we'll see you on the other side.
You guys too. Cheers, Martin.
Cheers.
Thank you.